All right, good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. We are live on YouTube, and market's making a nice little push here to the downside. A ton of support sitting actually between it just kind of ran through some support at the 65s, and then now we've got on the ES from the 83s down to the 80. We got a pretty strong pocket, but it looks like it's an area in the market that they're going to want to probably test out here real soon. And as far as the setup that we've been kind of mapping, I think since Monday at the 6871s on the ES, a ton of volume sitting right in between TP1 and TP2, a little closer to TP1. So I want to see the reaction that we get here. And then I'd like to see the 70s step back in. Currently, all right, yeah, so they did step right back in. So the 6870s are being defended pretty well. So we've got a nice little buffer right below our entry here. I should say a little area of defense. So this looks like still a pretty prime candidate here for the morning. And then to the top side, we've got this little area right here. It's actually got a few setups. And this looks like the first one right here. I'm actually going to hold off on that setup because I'm not thrilled with this volume profile right here. I see resistance going to TP1. That's my problem. I see resistance there. And then there's another little pocket right up here. At that 69.25 down to the 18. This looks a little bit more interesting. So I could take this off. Take this guy off. Actually, you know what? I should have. I'm going to leave him on. I want to see what price action does there. I'm not interested in a setup here just yet. But up here could look a little interesting. Could look something like this. Not a really good TP2 area, but TP1 looks pretty sharp. And it does fall into this area. Okay, I'm gonna take this off. And I think we're gonna play with this one right here. Let me delete that. Gotta watch the ES here because it's making a nice little push to the downside. All right, I gotta hold off on that. Drop down to the 1. I like how my charts are reacting today. Made a little bit of adjustments. All right, what do we got? Top step Randy morning. First of all, setups here improve my trading. That's awesome. Can help with my golf game. That's probably the one thing I can't do, Randy. Random Barbarian, good morning. Mike, good morning. Nordic, good morning. So you marked off. Good job. Oh, let's get ready here. I like that. I like that. Oh, jeez. I always get these right to the ticks, man. That kind of hurt. Dang it, man. That hurt. Now we're gonna get flushed here. Now come on, let's get that support there. Give me the support there. I think I'm gonna suck in a little bit of my risk here. We missed that to TP1, at least for me. I mean, I missed it by a tick. 67s now. Yeah, I think I'm not liking this one. We missed the initial balance there, so I'm okay taking a loss here. But I think I'm going to suck in my risk because now the 62s are where it's being defended at. I mean, there's a lot of upside potential here. So, I mean, it's all unbalanced above us, but the market is got a strong push to the downside. Dang it. That was unfortunate, man, that I didn't get filled on that to the tick right there. That's probably going to do it right here. Man, was that unfortunate. Literally to the tick right there. I mean, I would have said that hit TP1, but it didn't knock me out. Or it didn't take me out. All right, now the 67s are coming back in. Now the 67s are coming back in. And I hope I didn't... I hope I'm... Ugh. 67s are defended. There's a lot of upside potential here. I don't like the fact that I came right back in. Let's see. Actually, buyers are stepping in kind of strong here. A lot of negative delta, though. '67s are defended. I don't know. I see buyers stronger right now. I'm not getting that move. I mean, even the 82s are in play, to be honest with you. At least that's what I see. Shit, now they formed a wall right at the 75s. 75s. Dang it. Dang it. If they could blast through the 75s, you got a lot of upside potential here, but they just came in really strong at the 75s. Damn. This could be a nasty start to the morning. I almost want to go in with another contract. So they tapped right into the 75s. They could blast right through here. I almost feel like targeting the 82s. All right. I really wanted to go in with another contract. I wanted a secondary target of the 82s right here. Well, shit, I guess the setup would have worked out perfect if I would have just left my stop where I was at. The 82s right here. That's their next target. They pretty much swiped it right there. All right, so I mean, I would say that's probably I don't know. I kind of mismanaged that one pretty badly. I mean, we got the reaction, but this drawdown here just I didn't like it. And what really sucked was I could have gotten tapped right out at TP1. I mean, it came right to my order, which I knew that's where they needed to balance out the first TP. I mean, that played out perfectly. But like I said, there is a lot of upside potential. Who made some money? Who was a better trader than me, I guess, in this particular trade? Oh, I didn't look at the NQ, but the NQ that's set up that we had mapped out, or the dumb. This was kind of like a. Let's see what does this look like? Let's go down to the 1 minute. Dang it! That would have got TP1 and TP2 as well. So that NQ setup I mapped out yesterday. Come on. Just said you were doing good on the charts. Now it's taking forever. So the setup I left you guys with yesterday, right there, got into your entry. TP1 and TP2. Alright, I guess I could take this one off. That would have worked. I mean, there's no surprise that the market. Oh, geez, I even told you guys. So this was your TP right here, but what I was worried about was the sweep. That sweep. Remember that the stop losses that were sitting down there? I can't now. I'm on the 1 minute, but that stop loss. I mean, if you guys were on stream yesterday, I explained this setup a lot. So I was afraid of that sweep, but you got the TP1 and TP2 before that. But there's no secret to why the market reacts at the areas that I think it's going to react at. So on the NQ, we do have this set up below us at the 25,880, targeting the 887, and then the 890 above it. And then let me take a look at the ES again, because I think we do have we have a decent setup here brewing. Right up here. I'm sorry. Let me delete this so we can, so we're not getting confused. Oh, no, I didn't take a screenshot. Son of a gun. All right, so I got a clear entry at that 69.1850, and then I've got what looks to be like a pretty clear TP1. Not happy with that trade necessarily. Well, I guess I recognized the secondary push there, so at least I was able to capitalize on that. So I can't be too hard on myself. And then this is the 25s. Alright, let's see what the price action's doing over here. Let's see what the 69.18s are doing. Not much yet. 17 and a half, 69, 17 and a half looks like an area that they're going to be interested in. The 18s right now don't look, they're not being defended yet. So, you have to keep an eye on this one. Let's take a look at the NQ. I don't think I've even... Oh, the NQ's got something. NQ's got something. Oh man, this one's coming quick too. Let's see what's happening here. Negativo. That's garbage. Let's see above it. Shit. This is garbage too. This is... Let's go to the 15 minute. Show it a little easier. What did I tell you about that upside move? A lot of room to the upside. Kicking myself. I even said it. I wanted to get in with a secondary contract, and then I could have at least targeted those 82s. That would have been a great trade. But saying something and doing something are two different things in this business. Sorry guys, I'm not looking at the chat right now. I want to see what... Ooh. Ooh, that's interesting right here. I like it on the volume profile. This looks juicy. Wowzers. Does that look great? All right, let's see. It's a big old target. All right, looking at an entry at 26,240 and 3/4. 26,240.75. TP1 26,229.50. TP2 I'll make that one a whole number. Probably squeeze another tick out of that one, but easier to say on a whole number. And then our stop loss. Template load. Stop. All right. This looks like a very juicy setup on the NQ. 26,240.75 as an entry, targeting the 26,229, and then targeting the 26,224 with a stop loss at the 26,252. I like it. Good job, Top Step Randy. Man, I so close of hitting the button too. So close. But like I just said, saying something and doing something are two different things. All right, so let me make a few. Sean, yes, there is a mechanical way to find these levels for sure. And this might come quick here, huh? Let's go to the 5. Okay. I reacted a little better. Wow, is the market making a push? It's freezing down here. I'm an ice box. I might have to get like a little portable heater down here because it's not cold enough yet to actually turn the heater on. But downstairs in the basement where I'm at, it's freaking cold. Let me make some. Give me 1 second. Make some updates here. Sorry guys, I'll get to the chat in a little bit here. I just want to get a little organized. Okay. All right, yes, making a push here. Okay. All right, eyes on the prize now. That was a pretty electric morning. Start to our morning in there. Nice TP1 and TP2 for those that had their resting limit order on that ES trade. The NQ setup I mapped out yesterday, which I wasn't super happy about just because of that sweep at the bottom, which did play out, but it would have given you your TP1 and TP2 before that. Nordic, yes I am. I am from Chicago. I'm in a suburb of Chicago called Niles. Stealth. So I am a pure volume-based trader. So I have a strategy on mapping out my levels, which I believe someone asked me if there was a mechanical way. Excuse me. There's a mechanical way. Yeah, I've got a video that explains how I come up with my levels on the 5 and the 15 minute, and then how I incorporate the volume profile. That's when you start to get a little, obviously, discretionary. You're going to start to see, you'll get a little bit of experience as you map them out. But pretty much what I'm looking for, this volume profile here on this entry doesn't really play out very nicely, but it does play out on the higher time frame. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for an entrance, for an entry. Let's take, for instance, this red line here. You know, if a level coincided with this area of the volume profile, I would be looking for an entry at this ledge. I'd have my stop loss above an area of defense, and then I would want to see free flowing into my take profit 1. So my take profit 1 would be around that 69.22 area right here where my white line is at. And then what I use is I use the level 2 order book. I use Bookmap to confirm areas of strength and areas of defense. Because what I'm looking for, I'm not really interested that much in risk to reward. Obviously, the trade's got to make sense, but I'm looking for areas where I'm going to see a reaction at my entry. I've got a lot of defense between my entry and my stop loss. Oh, a nice push here. Let's take a look here and see what happens. Let's see. So the 20s are stepped in. 15s are stepped in, and the 20s are stepped in. So, okay with that. Last layer of defense is around the 26s, so you almost kind of need to have your stop above this node right here, unless we get a very nice reaction to our entry. It's a small concern of mine, but this is already a pretty damn big stop at 7 points, which not really thrilled with. Oh, they just balanced out. I was just about to say the 05s. I was just about to say the 05s would be actually a very nice target here, but they just balanced that out. So, let's see here. Yeah. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Morning, Nate. Morning, Patriots. Rob, what do you see on the ES at 18.5? Well, I see we had a really nice move out of there. So we had unbalanced volume sitting right around the 18 to the 20 area. And I see TP1. I've already commented on it. TP1 looks very what's the word I'm looking for? Looks very very easy target. Very easy target. TP2 is going to have a little bit of a stress. It's going to have a little stress on TP2. Wow, they just formed a lot. They just formed a brick wall at the 15, but that could be stops. So now we just got to be. What I'd actually like to see is to take out the stops right here at the 15, and just make a sweep of this unbalanced volume sitting at the 20s, which is not that strong. Wow, they really like the 15s. All right. I was almost gonna say right now would be a great limit order at 69.18, but I like to see them step in a little stronger at that 18.20 level. That's what the NQ is doing. All right, NQ had a nice little push there. What are they looking for? $135, so right underneath IB. Also this little spot down here that they obviously had a big move to the upside from. So they did leave some volume there unbalanced. Let me just take a look and see what I see down there. Was that the 830 move? No. No, it was not. It's not super clean yet. Not an A+ setup, but decent. Decent. Let's go. Switch that right there. Let's go back to the ES. All right, ES is gonna make a push here. 20s starting to step back in. I like to see that. I mean, they're going to have to tap into the 15s. They got a wall formed at the low 90s. Morning Key. What are those levels you mapped out? The ones that right here, these are my setups right now that I'm looking at on the ES. Anybody pick up a Tradeify account? I just picked up one last night. I didn't add it to my roster yet, but I picked one up last night. They're running a 45% off sale till tomorrow on the funded account, so you can get pretty much an instant Lightning funded account. I think I paid $2 something for it. Um, which, if you do the math, I mean, it makes total sense. What you're going to pay on an evaluation, passing it, and then activation fees and stuff like that. So I think Tradeify, that deal is, I don't remember the last time they ran a 45% offer, but it's only good till tomorrow. Like I said, I picked it up. My other Tradeify, I think I've got only about $450 for a payout. So, well, probably a little less now that I took that. Oh, that's not bad. It's $36 loss for today on that Tradeify. So on cash, I'm down 46 and 58. But at least I was able to spot that re-entry. But I did mismanage that trade pretty well. Let's see, is there anything else to the top side? No. The ES, this is the top there. Anything to the downside? Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit. I'd like to see some more movement. So actually, on the ES, this movement coincides pretty much exactly with this movement right here. So they both showed, the ES and the NQ both showed strength right there. They left definitely a pocket of volume sitting right here. There's also pockets sitting right here too. A lot of unbalanced volume sitting right at the 70s. Yucky. So again, not the super cleanest, but not the worst. Kind of aggressive on that one, but let's see how this stacks up. All right, so we kind of have the ES surrounded here. Man, a lot of movement. A lot of movement. All right, NQ's good. A lot going on here. Alright guys, I'm going to put this on screen. I'm just going to map this one out. Give me 1 second. 26 125s. Jump down here. For some reason, my chart does not like the 1 minute for some stupid reason. I don't understand why. All right, that was a juicy move right there. Let's go to the NQ. Let's see, 25s, yes. Okay, I like it. All right, small little scalp here, 26 125, 0.75 down to the 120s, and then to the 118s. Saw the reaction that I was looking for at TP2. All right, ES is kind of sitting in between both of our setups there. We got the ES kind of surrounded. So we got a long setup at the 6880, targeting the 83s. And then we got a short setup at the 6918, targeting the 6915s. A lot of movement this morning. Setups are plentiful. Right. Yeah, we got Apple and we got what's the other big guys for today? Let's see here. Amazon. Yeah, that was it. just a quick recap. Gave a setup on the ES that hit TP1, TP2. I kind of fumbled that trade a little bit, but I was able to recover. And currently we're looking at a short setup on the NQ at the 26, 125. Small targets, 120 and then 118. And then on the ES, we've got two setups identified here this morning, along at the 6880, targeting the 83 and 85, and then a short setup at the 6918, targeting the 15 and 12. Let's see the 80s. I like it. I like it. They got a wall at my TPs, so they're going to balance at least TP2 out. No, actually right above it. I like it. I like this long play right here. So we've got a long setup on the ES at the 6880, targeting the 6883 and 85. And then we got a short setup on the ES at the 6918, targeting the 15 and the 12. And on the NQ, we've got a short setup playing out at the 26 125s, targeting the 120 and the 118. A lot of movement this morning. And for a volume-based trader, that is exactly what you need. And a lot of strong movements with some strong retracements. Decent size range for the morning. We got about 7 minutes for IB to be set. Which is looking where? 26,182 to the high, 29,942. It's going to tap. It's going to have a reaction here. I just couldn't find a very good setup. Nice little move there. That's where I thought we would have the reaction, if you guys remember. Right above our TPs. Not a ton of defense from what I'm seeing right now. I mean, our entry and our TPs look great. Just don't have a lot of defense behind my... so I'd like to see a very, very quick reaction here to TP1. If we get there. So right now they left the 95s unbalanced right here. So that would be something to look at. As far as possible targets, unless they take this out before making the move to our 80s. But they left this unbalanced. Defending the 87s pretty strongly. Let's see here. Big absorption right now. See them tapping right back into the 87 50s. Right around here. This is a pocket. I'd rather them not go for the 95s yet. I'd rather them come down to my entry first. That gives me a nice little warm fuzzy feeling inside. Well, they tapped into it. Crappers. Yes, Nordic, on the right now I'm on the 1 minute, so I mean you could see the big impulsive move right here. I mean there's very easy to spot volume almost on your candlestick, but yeah, the book map is what reinforces what I see on the charts. So I would have rather them tapped into my entry and then rebalanced the 95s, because then I know I would have got a really strong push. The only concern here now is I don't have much defense underneath my entry. So I might have to rely on a footprint confirmation here. Pretty strong one. Big fight here. A lot of absorption. 120 contract, 130, 140 positive delta. So I could delete this. They already tapped it to that. Everything else looks pretty balanced above us. I'd like to see the 77s step in. Big absorption by sellers there. This was the fight that I thought they were going to have. They just absorbed a lot of contracts there. 780. Hopefully you guys can see that number down there. And what sucks is that they just took out this unbalanced area at the 95s. Haven't really left anything to the top side that looks super interesting to them. Whoa. Strong push there. Strong push. So we're pretty much sitting in the middle of initial balance. IB is set. So IB low is at the 25,942, and the IB high is at the 26,182. We're kind of in a no man's land here. I'm going to use the washroom 1 second. I got the NQ set up on screen right now. It's at the 26,125.75. Looking for a short down to the 120, 118 pocket. And then I think we have one above us. Yep. So we would have IB high that we'd have to go through first. But then we've got another short setup at the 26,240, targeting the 26,229 and the 224 with a stop at the 252s. Man, it's absolutely freezing down here. Had some nice movement early. It's kind of slowed down here a little bit. So as I mentioned a little earlier on stream, TradeFi announced yesterday a 45% off sale until tomorrow. I did pick up one of their Lightning funded, the 50Ks. I think I paid like $270. Let me see. What did I pay? TradeFi. $279. That was a pretty good deal. I'm pretty damn close to a 2K payout with them, so it'd be great if I can get that done in October. October's been a great month so far. So quick recap, mapped out a setup on the ES. That did go for TP1, TP2. I kind of fumbled the trade a little bit there. Shortened my stop loss, but then I was able to get into a re-enter and recouped majority of my loss there. Still consider that B minus, C, probably a C. C minus maybe on the management of the trade, but the setup was there. All right, so we're pretty much sitting in the middle of the IB range for NQ and ES. IB high set at the 26,182 and IB low set at the 25,942s. Got a reaction point right here on the NQ. I just can't really find a great setup for it. Yeah, Key, you got to make 3K is your profit target on the TradeFi 50K account. But there's no evaluation if you go with their Lightning funded. All right, so they're targeting the 6910s, it looks like, right here. Still got a nice strong wall formed at the 92s right down here. Those are both areas of interest for them. All right, they just tapped into the 6910s. Lot of interest right there. Big absorption. You can see the footprint, 433. It's a strong area. This is looking pretty weak up here, though. 15s they really like. The 18s are looking very weak right now. We're going to want to dance at the 15s. I don't see anybody stepping up into the 18s right now. Twos. Even this is probably about a B minus B setup right now, unfortunately, in the 6918s. Which doesn't make any sense to me why they're not. It does look kind of crappy on the profile. Don't like this that much anymore, guys. I don't. Why are they not interested here? Alright, I'm going to mark this now off in white. Taking this off the books as an official setup for me. I just don't like it. I don't like the defense at all. I'm going to leave up the lines just so we can see what kind of reaction we get there, but as of right now, I do not like it. And then this will distinguish the entry line there. So the NQ. All right, well, we got the reaction there, but again, that was a little sweepy, which is why I didn't like that as a setup. That one probably would have tagged me out, but I identified at least the sweep there. Happy with that. So we take this one off. What do I see here? I mean, kind of a half-ass target at the 26.044. This is not 6 points. I just want to see what happens here. Let me go down to the footprint confirmation. Let's just see what happens when it hits the shaded box here. I just want to see. I'm curious. Not a setup that I'm really looking to take at all, but curious. Alright, we would have missed the reaction there by a few ticks. Let's see if they still got it in them. 40s. The 30s right there. Yeah, my stop would have been right around the 26s. Let's see what happens here. I'm mainly looking at this just out of curiosity. I got the reaction, but not exactly where I was planning it. What was that? Maybe about a point off. And they balanced everything out right here at my TP1, so that ain't interesting at all. Probably tap into the into the 40s again. And probably tap into the 30s. Let's see what would have happened there. Oh, that would have been TP1. Oh, good footprint confirmation there too. That would have been the spot. Would have been the spot. Now they're going to come after the 30s. That was the spot. Tap into the 30s. You know you want to. There you go. Alright, NQ. Did what I thought you would do there. Now what's going on down here? What didn't I like about this? Don't know. Oh, I see the area. Just the TP is kind of shit. Stop loss is terrible there too. Not a setup, guys. I'm just mapping it out. Just curious to see what kind of reaction we get here at the 25.97.997. Yes, it's getting close. Big move. They tapped into it. Well, let's see what they would have done here. It's a good non-setup. Reason why I didn't like it. Would have been that 6, about 13 points of stop there. Oh, I would have given you a TP1. I would have hated to have had that sweat, though. I would not have liked that sweat. All right, let's go take a look at the ES. Like I said, volume don't lie. It's kind of an ugly, it's kind of an ugly area, though. And that's why I saw such a big drawdown. That's the reason why I didn't even mark that up as a setup. But again, I was very curious as to what kind of reaction we'd get there. Oh, TP2 got balanced out there. Alright, let's take these guys off. They were fun to look at for a little bit. Alright, NQ left another pocket on this strong push right here. Left a pocket up there. What is this from? The 26062s to the 100s. Now if we were to refine, left a little pocket right here. Not the greatest. Not the greatest pocket in the world. I don't like. We're getting close close to IB low, and we're getting close to an ES trade. Let's go to the main screen and make this bigger a little bit. Got a lot going on. We need to see some movement. Okay. Be right back. So guys, I call this right here no man's land. Okay. This right here will wreck you. There's nothing clean here. It's all very balanced. We're looking for unbalanced. Yeah, it's definitely the chop. Anybody up near Naples? Got a golf trip coming up November. I'll be there from the 7th to about the 9th. I'll be there the 6th in the evening. So no stream November 7th, Friday. I'll be teeing it up somewhere. Then we're going to play Salt Leaf in Naples. Or it's not in Naples, but it's near Naples on the 7th. We're going to be in Bonita Springs. Look, I think everybody's thinking that they're going to close the gap below. But as I mentioned, they don't have to for a while. They may have enough to play with for a long time here. So this was a previous setup that we had mapped out on the ES on a short at the 6918. That I've kind of invalidated the setup for myself. Just at least on this initial push right here, they weren't defending the 18s or anything in between the 18s and my stop. So it just didn't look high probability for me. Obviously could always still work out, but I'd like to keep it to A+ if I could, or at least A. Let's see what's happening at the 942s. So they're interested in IB low, which is we do have a setup here on the NQ short at the 26 125s, targeting the 120 and then the 118. I have a small scalp, but this will lull you to sleep. If I wasn't so damn cold down here, I'd probably take a nap. Jeez. So I got nobody on stream that's near Naples, Bonita Springs area. All right, there was some absorption right there on the ES. It could be gearing up for a move here. Not. No, Naples in Florida. I wish I was going to Naples in Italy. That would be nice. Naples, Florida. We're actually going to be staying at my buddy's place, and he's got a spot in Bonita Springs. Yeah, Key, they're just in a very balanced area. They're in a very balanced area of the market, so market could do this for a long time. You know, on the NQ, they got the 55s, what's sitting right here. It's got some pockets, so they could dance there. They can go all the way down to the 2600s. They got some there. And my guess would be they would come after the 2600s, probably first. But when they're super balanced like they are right now, it's a coin flipper. Key. Oh no, that's Nordic. Uh, all I can tell you, Nordic, is that a short on the 6912s, you do have defense at the 15s. So not the worst. Not the worst. Lines up pretty nicely on the volume profile. So yeah, I guess you could make a case for a short at the 6912. Maybe 4 or 5 points a stop. Not the worst idea. Not the worst. So like I said, the 55s, that's an area. That's something that they have to play with right there. Order book is very thin right here, all the way down here. Actually, from here to here. Rob, do you see 138 contracts at 6908? I do. Let's see. Yeah, 140, 143. What I don't see is anything at the 6918s, which is a little surprising to me, but global or global plus? Oh, that's a good question. I believe. Let me see if it'll let me log in like this. It might not. It might actually knock me out over here, but yes, I'm not a robot. I have a feeling that it's going to kick me out here, but for the good of the stream, Let's see what I got here. Yes, I am a human. I am on Global Plus. I hope the next question isn't going to be, what's the difference? Because I don't really know. I mean, I could find out, but... All right, it didn't knock me out, so that was good. That worked out okay. Lost the music on that one. Was that the biggest number? No, I think the 11s. I think the 11s and 12s. Or the 11s, I think, actually. Oh, no. It's got a little nutty now. I think the 11s are more. I've got more, for sure. It's all sitting right here. Right here. I wanted it sitting up here. 20s look a little defended, but not great. Not great. NQ. NQ. Somebody do something here. I'll be right back. Get some more. Refill my coffee. Maybe it'll stir up the market a little. Well, we got a big problem at the house. We're out of my Cuban coffee. I saw some donut shop pods up there. I ain't gonna do it. That's not a good omen. Not a good omen. So nobody in the Naples, Bonita Springs area. Hoping to see if I get some restaurant recommendations. I think we got the golf mapped out pretty well. I think we're gonna hit up Salt Leaf. And what's the other one that we have? Oh, Old Corkscrew. Played that one before. That was nice. I got Tiburon on the list, but that's not going to happen. They want $419 for a tea time at Tiburon. Are they out of their mind? Out of their mind. Old Corkscrew is 145. That's on the high side. Salt Leaf's 199. Holy shit. So I think we got the golf mapped out, but maybe some restaurant recommendations will be good. Brian Drexler. Yes, I use let me pull it up here. So the vendor that I got it from is chartspots.com. And if you go down to their composite volume profile, they've got a free trial for 2 weeks for 59. Oh, it's $59 lifetime, which is I think a pretty good deal for an indicator. And that's who I use. What do you think, people? Should we continue the stream for another half hour, 45 minutes? See if we can get something here. We're just sitting in a very balanced area of the market, and it's just not it's not doing much. Oh, microphone is really close there. So on the ES, you're getting a wall of defense right here, starting from the 6908s, all the way up to about the 12s. So right in this area right here. It's the only pocket that the market really has to play around with. I just don't see a clear. Yeah, you could take a blind short, but I just don't see a clear setup there. My main concern are your TPs. They've left this all pretty balanced, you know? So TPs start to get a little difficult. All right, here's the push. Well, I will say the order book just cleared out. That's interesting. They thinned out pretty good. What did that absorb? Did it absorb a lot? I don't think it did. No, it did not. Huh. Okay, they stepped back in at the 11s, 69 11s. Right here. You know, when I'm making my circles nice and circular, I'm starting to get bored. Well, who has a key? I think you said short at the 6908. That would have played out okay. 3 points there. Just not very high probability. Guys, if you haven't liked the stream, please. I appreciate that. Doing my absolute best to give you the best setups that I can here every morning. I would say the win rate's got to be through the roof. I think, what, 9 or 10 days of streaming right now in the books. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Or value it, I should say. But this market is just died down. Sorry about that. I have 1 drop of coffee left. Do I waste it right now? No, I'll let it sit there for a couple more minutes. Billy Joe, yes, every single day. I've got all the setups running up on my setup upstairs just to kind of conserve my real estate down here, my studio. Let's see, they'd be interested again in the 90s, 95. Shit. It's all crap right here. It's all crap right here. I'd hate to end the stream on a negative $262 P&L. But unless I want to force something, I don't see nothing. All right, recap. On the NQ, we've got a short setup that we're looking at the 26 125s down to the 120, 118. Got IB low sitting at the 26,000. No, I'm sorry. That's a pocket of the low sitting at the 25,942. But we are just in a very balanced area of the market, so. And it went from like fantastic price action to big old shit. Now, I will say, down here, just really hasn't broken much structure here. This didn't break. This didn't break any structure up here. Kind of needed this push to do it. Let's see what I see here. Nothing. That's garbage. Can we get a 20-point drop? Let me look at my levels. $26,069. $26,069. So that already played out. 25,928. 69.50s, 68.87. That was a nice bounce right there off that level. 67.87s played out real nice on that morning level I gave. And then we got the gap. Not much. Not much sitting there. I would love to be up 23 bucks, Mike, to be honest with you. Kind of fumbled that first trade. It was great. Good setup. TP1, TP2, but fumbled the stop there a little. Was able to get into the re-entry to make it back about $1,000, but I haven't even opened up my TradeZilla yet. And I'm going to be staring a second red day in October. What was it, Key? I think Key, the 69.08, I think you had called out for a short. That would have played out nicely. You guys could see the NQ at the 26.05s, which corresponds with the 95s on the ES. Let's just look at the footprint here. Negative 354 delta there. The 95 is going to be very interesting there for them. And they left the pocket unbalanced at the 6900s right here. I'll borrow you over here. So I'd be very curious to see if they take out the 95s. If they take out the 95s before the 99s, that would be a decent long setup, but let's fix this up. My thought process here would be they tap into the 95s, displace right to the 6900s. It's the easiest auction right now for them to complete. That's it, I did. I took the last sip. It's scary. Again, my feeling would be if this is the most likely auction theory that I see here, is them taking out the 6895s and then displacing right back to the 6900s. Even though there's a lot of juicy liquidity sitting down here right now. So let's watch this footprint confirmation here at the 95s. Probably going to see a lot of negative delta once we break into these 95s here. There you go. There you go. Negative 500. That was juicy. No footprint confirmation, though. But now the easiest spot for them to finish out that auction would be at the 6900s. I mean, granted, they do have some spots right here that they could entertain. That was a good footprint confirmation. 147 contracts. That's pretty damn good. Actually, a long right here doesn't look that bad. Negative 590. A lot of absorption. Buyers are stepping in. Let's see, they're going after some liquidity down below. Well, maybe we do get the 20-point drop that we were looking for. Another decent footprint confirmation, but that's way above my, it's way above what I was thinking. So they left this completely unbalanced, the 6900s. That's an easy spot for them to do business at. Okay, order book thinned out. Did we just go through the... No, we didn't. So the NQ, if you guys remember, they tapped right into that big liquidity, which kind of sat with the ES. So let's see if they tip their hand here now. Strong push. They just broke through another pocket right here. Might have tipped their hand here. Order book's pretty thin to the top side. So they might want to go after this. Let's look at the 6880s. All right, that's pretty good. I like it. I like that so far. Definitely going to get a big dance right here at the 83, 82. Well, they just left a lot of unbalanced volume sitting up here, so we might need to look at this area. But very curious right here at the 6880s. Volume profile looks pretty good right there now. Order book looks good. A little low on volume for the session there, but come on. Come back for it. Come back for it. I'd really like the market to leave the 6900s alone. I know that they can. I know that they. Excuse me. I know that they want the 95s, 96s, but I really need them to leave the 69s alone. Just come after this. There's so much sitting right here for them to grab. Makes the most sense. And if they were to leave the 68 95s alone, that's even better. All right, let's see it. Yes. Hey, just jacked this area right here. We might not even get an opportunity at the 68 880s. 83s, 84s. This looks very juicy. And this is unbalanced. Big upside potential there. They just absorbed a pretty good amount right there. Let's go down a little bit. Let's go. Let's test those waters here. Good footprint right there. That might have been the setup right there. That might have been the setup. Let's go. Damn it. That was probably it. That was probably it. God, my finger was on the trigger. Let's go. Retest it. Don't take out the 68.95s. Still left a really nice pocket at the 83s. 80s are really, really strong. Oh, that could have been a good setup right there. You guys saw the footprint confirmation. That was a beauty. Absolute beauty. Could have got you easy 5 points. Maybe 4 points. Dang it. Let me show that one. It goes right there. This was your footprint right there. Off that pocket. That was a beaut. And I had my finger on the trigger. Let's see. Hopefully we get a retest here, and then 68.95s are even in play. That's aggressive, but and not a lot of selling pressure above. I mean, they could just blast to this 95s. That makes the most sense. Maybe one more dip into here. We might need to take an early entry here, guys. We see a decent dip into these 83, 82s with a good footprint confirmation. That might be it. The 80s are stacked. Buyers are strong, man. The buyers are strong. This makes total sense to me up here. Trump administration agreed to delay the rule, expanding the number of Chinese companies and the Commerce departments to deal list for a year. That's about 30 minutes ago. I do not see that key. 6879s have about 50 contracts sitting there. The 80s are stacked pretty nicely though. Might get a retest here. That's what I'm looking for. I like that they've left the 95s alone. I got a cutoff in about 8 minutes here. I got an 11:30 I gotta get to. I just hate that I would wait all this morning for nothing, but don't make a run here for the 95s. Please don't do that. I know it looks so easy for you guys to do. Just don't do it right now. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. This looks so nice for you guys. Come take this. $68.81. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's so easy for them right now. Well, they just balanced a shit ton out. Well, the move was right here. They have just an absolute gorgeous footprint confirmation. I had my finger on the trigger, and I went after exactly what I thought they were going to do. It was so easy. There was nothing there. This is not... Thanks, Key. I appreciate that. Would appreciate a like on the stream. Let's see. Q. What are you doing with it? It was just such an easy move. It was such an easy move to see, too. I will say they did leave it, though. They really, I mean, they took what they needed from the 95, well, 94.50s, but they did leave a lot right above it. So maybe they come down and play again. Looks like they're coming back for it. Right now they left the 90s open. The 90s they left open. Don't balance that out. Don't touch the 90s. Just come straight down here. Don't touch the 90s. Don't touch the 90s. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. I know you want to, but there's a lot to do down here. Let's go. Take this and then put it to the 90s. That would make the most sense. Come on. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a freaking gigantic sweep here. Come on. Leave the 90s alone. We can use them in a little bit. Leave them alone. '81s, '80s. Come on. I'd like to see a really strong push here to the downside. I'd like to see a sweep right down to the 80s, the low 80s right here. Don't balance it out. See this footprint right here, the 129 contracts? That would be an easy area for them just to rebalance at the 90s. I'm really hoping they don't. $252. No footprint confirmation there. But that could have been enough for them to take at least the 90s now. That was a good amount of absorption right there. Easy plays the 90s for them. Would not be surprised to see a big sweep here. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. This is painful to watch. All right, they just balanced that out there. You bastards. Nope. They're making this setup very difficult now. Very difficult. I had my opportunities too. Oh. Felt like I was in a boxing match. All right, guys, I hate to do it, but I got to call it. I got to get to Glenview in about 30 minutes here. Sorry we weren't able to see this one play out. The 80s, 81s are still stacked, but they've balanced out a shit ton here. And now if they come after the 95s, that leaves the... Damn. It's tricky. I'd love to be on stream with you guys to see this one play out, because I think the help would be appreciated here. In what I see. But give me a like on the stream, guys. If you haven't, remember Tradeify is running 45% off till tomorrow. If you're looking to get funded with any of the prop firms that I've got up on the left-hand side of the screen, just use code TraderRob. And see you guys tomorrow at 8:30. So they just did exactly what I thought they were going to do. I just really wish we could have got that little extra push, but a little unfortunate. A little unfortunate. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Take care. Let me see. Can you make a quick video when you show what you mean with balancing it out? It is purely visible in the bottom profile or the low volume notes. Yeah, so what you're looking for are areas that you've got very strong movement out of that have not been balanced out, so volume gets left. And, you know, you can start to kind of play around on the 1 to 5, 10 minute. These are bigger numbers. These are bigger time frame numbers right here that I'm looking for unbalanced volume. And then you'll see them stack up really nicely with the level 2 bookmap data. That'll help you out as well. See you guys on Friday. Hate to leave negative 295 for the day. I think this day could have been a lot better, to be honest with you. But we did what we could. All right, guys.